can be in this at any moment. They just gotta up their mental game, let their talent speak.
Amazing placement. What a shot.
A Yahtzee overhead.
Aspect of mental toughness here that's just different.
I like the body language of all four players.
Oh, look at that shot! Great hands from Kiro.
Hello and welcome to the 2023-24 APTA Tour presented by Volley. We are live from the Orchard Lake Country Club in West Bloomfield Township, Michigan, bringing you the 2024 Detroit Invitational Grand Prix, which is the 12th stop on the 2023-24 APTA Tour, with live streaming brought to you by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors Volley Infusion, and local sponsors DIAG, Detroit Platform Tennis Association, Asset Health, Jack McNaughton, Lux Homes, Gen Oil, Crest Automotive, Thursday night OLCC Guys, Capsiva, the Wednesday night OLCC Guys, Etkin Real Estate, Bank Rifkin and Wilson Partners, and I'm Brad Easterbrook alongside Steve Sullivan, giving you men's quarterfinal round action between the number 3 seeds of Arraya McNerney and the team of Salazar and Regalado. Steve, welcome to the booth.
Brad, thank you. Should be a good match. We're a quick start here with a couple more warm-up serves. Salazar in the near court is serving, playing with Alvi Regalado, who's up at net in the green sweatshirt. And on the far court, you can see in the deuce side, Juan Arraya. And hitting that overhead there is Graham McNerney. Thank you. We're looking forward to this match. It's the best 2 out of 3. And Brad, you're sitting in Detroit. What's the weather today?
I mean, you can see it right out there. They got the lights on now. It's actually been a perfect paddle day. You know, most paddle players love it when it's a little cloudy, no sun to deal with. Right now, the sun would be kind of low and in their face, but don't have to deal with that. So it's good conditions. It's like upper 30s, so perfect day out here to play. Great crowd out here at the Orchard Lake Country Club. So absolutely perfect out there. And again, Jose Salazar serving there at the net. These guys have taken the tour by storm, kind of. You know, Salazar, Regalado, Nunez, terrific results.
It's amazing. I was recently looking at the APTA Cup standings, which is the season-long sort of secondary competition. I think there's about $50,000 of additional prize money. And it is amazing. Jose Salazar, who's basically played the whole season, he's mixed his partners up a little bit. He's played with Nunez. He's mainly played with Regalado, but he is sitting in second place. And Nunez and Regalado, they haven't played the full season yet, so they are also in the top 10. It's been amazing to see 3 almost brand new names this season that are basically competing for every week.
Right, competing for every week and competing in the final, you know, APTA Cup prize money, which is up $50,000 this year. And it goes out to the top 6 men and women. And he's right there, Salazar. He's had great results, and he's had great results because he's played great. You know, he's super solid. He hits offense on both sides, forehand and backhand. Looked to me like the backhand's a little stronger of the two. He has incredible poise, and he knows when to speed up a point almost naturally and how to speed it down. He's still learning at this top level against the top 3 or 4 teams. But incredible stuff, and his partner, Alvi Regalado, is another one with just incredible skill. And so far, Salazar has been kind of like, look at that, just playing the Nick like pros there. You know, Salazar kind of works his magic more in the backcourt, stays consistent, looks for a spot to hit it, and he loves it when he has a partner who will blitz from time to time, and Regalado will definitely do that.
You know, we saw them, or I saw them, I guess it was their second tournament of the year. They won the Baltimore Open. I was sitting there live, and just as you said, Jose Salazar is going to sit in the deuce court, be incredibly steady. He's a bit of a tactician, and Alvi Regalado is going to use his athleticism, and he's going to be up and down. He's going to be blitzing. He's going to be, you know, taking some chances, and it's an interesting contrast of these two styles. But one of the things you said early on is it's not just their tennis skills or their racket skills. Their paddle IQ is surprisingly high. And I'm anxious with, of course, the experience on the other side of the net to see how that shows today.
Yeah, no, I think that is a great point, and it's one thing to look up in the matchup here. You got Arraya and McNerney, certainly no strangers to the tour, been around for a year. McNerney's now at the top of the game, probably one of the best net teams in the game, which I think will be a huge factor in this game, because Salazar played Arraya McNerney in Chicago. He played with Nunez, and anytime Nunez was trying to get up and blitz, McNerney and Arraya shut him down probably a good 75% of the time. So we'll see if they put that in their pocket a little and just use it from moment to moment, because it was definitely, they lost in straights there. And part of it was because they were doing things that was working against other opponents, where they would blitz in, take advantage of the point, but yet these guys get so close to the net and they volley offensively better than, and there you see one of the great moves there from McNerney. He's so good at coming in. It's his best skill, actually. He's a great volleyer, one of the top 5 in the game probably. And Arraya as well. That's going to be interesting. So I anticipate them being more patient here in the backcourt and looking for the right moment to come in.
McNerney, Brad, is, what would you say, 6'3"? How tall is Graham?
Yeah, I'd give him another inch. I'd say he's 6'4".
So he, the way he stands at the net, not only is sort of at the poise and the stature, but you're right, his, confidence seeing the ball, but also just the steadiness of his backhand volley. I think this is going to be something to neutralize the power. I think there's the first move of the day by Alvi, and caught Jose a little bit off guard. But I think you're right. This will be interesting to see how the power versus sort of the experience of Arraya and McNerney can kind of hold their ground.
Some nice cutoff volley there from Regalado. Yeah, it was a great start to the season with McNerney and Arraya winning the Chicago tournament over Durant and Mitchell. And Salazar's probably played more than anyone else this year. I mean, all 3 of these guys have been out there plenty, but he's played almost.
Salazar's playing every week. If Alvi's not there, he's, like you said, he's playing with Nunez. He played with somebody else recently as well, but I think, he's certainly dedicated to the sport. And like we mentioned, he's sitting at number 2 on the APTA Cup, and it looks like he's going to vie for the title.
And you see here, they have no problem mixing it up from fast to slow. Nice forehand there from McNerney. And if there's knock on McNerney's game, it's really that you can sort of wait him out in the backcourt. He doesn't really take a lot of strikes. That forehand, the more and he's bringing it out more, and it's getting better. And as he improves that, so will his chances of actually getting a national, because he's right there. You see the 3rd here, one of the top 4 teams in the country. But his volley technique and his volleying is superb, actually, almost picture perfect. He's just in the backhand volley, right up on top of the net, always 90% of the time in great position, and he volleys offensively.
I think, Brad, you and I called the match at Philly Cricket, where, was it Durant and Mitchell played these two? And you could really see not only, a great contrast in racket skills and athleticism, the experience of Durant and Mitchell, but this will be a similar sort of test for these two to, see how many things that Arraya and McNerney are just sort of waiting for. Things they've seen. They've caught a lot of teams by surprise, and what a great cutter by Juan Arraya.
Yeah, I would say the areas that, we talk about their poise and their IQ and just really the way they've stormed onto the scene. The areas where they could use a little more work is even just in that cut finisher that you saw Arraya hit there. They are working that into the game, but it's still a work in progress for them. And then just understanding the tactics they want from game to game, you know, but everything else is really right there, all the skills.
But typically the first couple games of a match, you see teams sort of working their spots, maybe gaining their sort of mental patience. This match has started off with a bang. I think this is the second deuce. We've seen winners. We have not seen too many loose shots. So both these teams are sort of starting off with their A game.
Yeah, perfectly done. And I think that's a good way to describe those, you know, Salazar, from what I've seen of him playing, all the various partners. He always plays solid. I've yet to see him in the times I've seen him have these things where he goes into a hole and makes a whole bunch of errors. He just is so rock solid. And it's almost unnerving for certain players to see a player who's only been playing a short time be like that. You expect him to make errors, bad choices, and he just doesn't very often at all.
All right, a point for, believe it or not, 1-0. I think that was the third deuce, maybe the fourth deuce.
Love the way McNerney's hitting his forehand to start this match. It's solid, out in front. You see these feints and moves these guys are playing along with the coverage. McNerney coming up against the wire there, looking for a short backhand. He loves to blitz, McNerney. Screen drive he loves as well.
We noticed this in Philly, and I've sort of been listening on YouTube for a lot of the matches this season, but the communication between Regalado and Salazar is just absolutely constant. They're, you know, calling screens for each other. They're calling, you know, the balls down the middle, and it's a great lesson for, you know, me and the other club players that are watching to really over communicate. There's so many balls that are debatable on who should take it, and these two have sort of really pushed on communication.
All right, great hold there from Salazar and Regalado. So Arraya misses a backhand cutter there. And you make a great point, Steve, because I think it's definitely, if you're going to err on one side or the other, over-communicating is definitely the way to go. You know, I think you should communicate on almost every ball, and including balls that go into your partner's screens. You need help calls at this level. Every match should probably take 15 help calls or so. You know, balls going up the crease happen all the time. Oh, there they go. They got the matching uniforms. Like it. Do they have
I think in Philly
their own names?
Regalazar.
Yeah, they got the Regalazar shirts on. That's the one. The only question, I can't see it from here.
That's great, and this is something you see in Padel a bit, sort of the uniforms, the NASCAR-like shirts with lots of sponsors and names, and I love the fact that they're bringing this to paddle. The women, you know, do a great job with sort of coordination of uniforms and outfits, and I love that these guys are doing it. Graham McNerney in the green serving.
Oh boy, Arraya just walked into an easy layup there. Regalado misses though. You got lucky with that one though. Yeah, both these guys can hit the forehand and the backhand. They have offense on all sides. That's the kind of the other thing that sort of makes them that much more dangerous. A lot of players, you know, even, you know, Johan Durant really has most of his offense on his forehand side. These guys hit it both sides. Just a great overhead cut there. And this is the thing that Arraya and McNerney do bring to the table. They just are an exceptional volleying team. They can take your best shots and actually turn them against you. So points that people get as winners against other teams, they just don't get them against these guys. And not only that, these guys sometimes volley offensively back at you when you think you're putting them on the ropes.
Well, that's the poise you see with Graham McNerney. He just sort of holds his ground. His feet are stable. And to your point, it's not always a defensive block volley. He's hitting with purpose and, the right speed to the right part of the court. And that's absolutely a weapon.
Oh, look at that. That's a thunderball right there and a perfect play there. Oh, come on. He had around the net post. He
missed
did
it.
not. Missed it wide, but that was just a gorgeous setup there. And you could see that slap shot forehand there from Regalado, just hammers it down the line. And he fouls it up because they're both long, tall, and they have a great reach in there.
Almost an ATP or around the post. We have Frank Willard in the chair sitting as the umpire today. It would have been a nice early tight call if he had to sort of sound off on that one, if it looks like it was clearly wide.
Oh, good lob combination. And Arraya just continues to be a marvel. He's been top 10 in pickleball. He's just won the Pan American Games in padel. He is a national champion in paddle. And of course, a great tennis player as well. The guy keeps going, and if anything, he's getting almost better, or certainly hasn't lost a beat as he keeps, I think he's 46 now, maybe. So, just incredible. Impressive stuff.
Just split the middle.
Oh my God, what a shot. Good cutter. I mean, the offense, the ability to bring shots both sides of the court, and he's doing it with a short stroke, which is what you need. A lot of guys take a big swing, just out in front.
All right, from 40 love to 40-30.
Yep. See, the funny thing is, like, we're talking a little bit about, these guys having this poise, but if you're the other team and you're out there, where is the safe place to hit the ball on the court? Steve, what do you think is the safe place to hit the ball on the court against Salazar and Regalado?
Well, I think down the middle, very much clearly on the side of Jose Salazar into his backhand is a safe place. But, to the extent that Regalado is going to use his athleticism, it's almost a little bit too tight. So I think the side screens at least are going to give you some predictability that you're not going to get it off the deck. But
yeah, my point is really that if you don't hit a really good overhead, there's no safe space. You got to put it into the side screen. You got to place it nicely down the middle. And by the way, Salazar can hit his backhand. He'll hit that thing as well as Regalado getting in there to rip some forehands towards the center. And these guys are long and can move quickly. There, he's got him that time. Missed the first one he took, but Arraya again showing one of the things that makes him the third seed here. He's got a backhand cut finisher, and very few of those exist.
Yeah, it just sets up perfectly. If you let that ball drop below the height of the net, that's the one you want. Probably a 9 out of 10 on level of difficulty, but he sort of displayed a masterclass on that one. All right, 1-all. Alvi Regalado serving on the far side, wearing maroon just like his partner, but the white pants.
Yeah, their pants aren't matching. What's up with that? Sort of halfway on the full commitment to the outfit, huh?
So it's a nice natural switch. A lot of times you see in club play, especially when it's lefty-righty, but you see the switch by the net team, making sure they hit the overhead or the volley in the right spot. But those guys, you sort of had the natural from the baseline settle into your natural spot, which is obviously something you have to execute with the right defensive lob to make sure your partner has the time to switch sides, but well done there.
We're talking about the not matching pants, but the shoes do match, and that's kind of cool.
The shoes are the brightest thing on the court besides the ball today.
I don't know. Their play is pretty bright too, but yeah, they could be. Andre Iverson, he's coining them the Florinana of men's battle, which is good. Stylish. Like no one would ever accuse Andre Iverson of being the fashion plate of men's battle.
Great touch volley by Graham McNerney, and again, knowing they had moved up in the court, it was just putting the ball in the right spot at the right speed, and it was a ball that couldn't be chased down.
Yeah, high level of play from both teams right now. Oh no, I think Arraya got a little confused with McNerney movement, and he took his eye off the play there.
All right, another break point. Arraya is making these guys think. He's stepping up. He's moving to the side. He's at least giving them something to think about, but he's almost been caught a little bit to an open court a couple times. Regalado and Salazar, I think this will be very interesting. Both teams are moving quite a bit.
Switching the backcourt here. Oh, he takes the screen drive. It's a marginal ball. It's not the best one he's going to get. So good overheads there from Salazar and Regalado. Doesn't execute. Deuce.
Smart communication there. Alvey letting Jose know that Juan was moving forward, but what a shot. What a shot by Graham.
Yeah, but also misplayed there from Regalado. I think they are wearing the
Juan was out of position.
Regalos.
Yep.
You know, and he moved over like he was poaching it, then he just didn't take it. But it was a beautiful ball. Break point again, misses the return. Good challenging serve, but he's going to stay back. That's way too hard in the deuce side. You know, it's funny, as a tall guy, that height, it can be tricky to make a serve stay down unless you go to the underhand. So you're going to pop him up. The key is to put the right kind of spin at it. I think guys of his size, Regalado, sometimes it's good to learn how to hit a serve right at the crease once in a while. Let it ride in there. See if you can get it in that crease, because the ball's just popping up, but they're wisely staying back. And there's the good example of the perfect McNerney volley. He stands there. He knows that ball is hit hard enough to get screen drive. He just puts his paddle right out. But in the position, he hits it right to it, and he stuffs it right back. And these are the difference-making plays. Sort of the...
So another break point, and just a comment on the serve with Alvey's, a little bit aggressive and maybe high bouncing serve. Graham in the game before, you could hear the brush in his serve, right? He's got the height. The risk is you hit that down up type serve that gives the receiver a chance to let it come off high from the screen. But I think you're right. This is something Alvey is going to potentially have to learn, but it's only going to make him better. His serve's not a liability, but people like Graham really demonstrate that high serve, you just got to put incredible amount of spin if you're not willing to go to the underhand.
Or you just have to start working on some backcourt play. I think the guys who are taller, I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. There's been some small experiments with people hitting what we call a bullet serve right at the crease. I'm surprised it's not happening more. You know, from the guys who are like 6'4", 6'3 plus. You know, Sven Burrs, Regalado there. You know, McNerney, although McNerney's already got his service style locked in.
So it's hard enough they can't hit it off the deck, but just giving a decent likelihood it's going to hit into the nick.
Right, and then forces them to try to block, and if you hit it hard enough, it's actually going to fly wherever, and it can be just a hard chase. And if they chase it down, you just stay back. You know, but the key is you have to be consistent with it, like everything else. I think they are wearing the Salazar shirts today. Still can't see it till they get over here.
It's nice to see this week a lot of the teams back to their normal partnerships. Last week was at the Atlantic Classic. Boy, what a bunch of unique, different pair-ups that had me wondering who was playing with who for the season, but it's nice to see people back to normal this week at the Grand Prix.
Yeah, a lot of players will do that through the season. It helps you keep you fresh. Sometimes you learn more when you play with somebody else, or it allows you to, you know, kind of experiment with a few other things and even just understand more about partnerships, people's strengths and weaknesses. You know, there's been a few teams that haven't done any of that, and that, like Hughes and Powers, never did that at all. But most of the teams do to a degree.
It also gives not only the variation of partner and what to expect, but, you know, sometimes you're sort of in the alpha position, sometimes you're playing sort of the steady position, and mixing that up, sometimes mixing the side up, gives you just the ability to, get better overall as a player. So you see that Alfie, the last couple volleys, and Jose's the same way. These two are not going to be hitting the big cut / overheads to their advantage as much as they are, you know, push, roller, push to a position, which in a, you know, a long match, you know, you can argue what's the better strategy, but it certainly, you know, gives them a little bit more patience and a little bit of a different way to generate offense while you're at the net.
Yeah, it's different. I would actually say at this point for them, it's something that is slightly missing from their game. You know, like right now, I think these guys can absolutely beat anybody at any time because they're always playing good shots. They're always in the point. They have great poise, and they have incredible weapons. But, you know, having played a number of matches against the Arrayas in the world, you know, the Durants, and, you know, I've played those 7-6, 7-5, you know, and it came out of the losing end. And they cut 10 winners, and that was the absolute difference in the match. You know, everything else on balance, I might have even had the upper hand, but you know, you cut and finish 10 points, and the other guys don't. That's just a bonus, right? So the trick is,
it's the cutter for the winner, and it's also just that slash overhead. It gives you so much variation of, you know, direction and speed and spin. You know, this is sort of more the Arraya approach that he's going to, you know, probably go overhead cutter into the screens more than that push volley. But you're right. You have a 7-5, a 6-4, even a 6-3, and there's a handful of cutters on the other side of the net. You're not going to win that set.
But, oh, that's a great shot. But in every other way, they are right there. And those guys are tough to, I mean, that was a great point where it was perfect back and forth. I can't even fault any one thing about that except Arraya got lax covered in his line of that. He was surprised by that little slap shot forehand. But these guys, Arraya's trying to come at them and develop a blitz, and they're right there. That's an impressive little block shot down the line. You're right, it called it wide. Wanted to McNerney to let it go, but I think McNerney was wise. I think it was in.
That up and down overhead by Graham's the one that sort of got Juan caught on that down the line. But if he hits it in the right spot, it's a tricky overhead to defend. Yeah, Juan is going to use that cut overhead to really just move them around and keep them guessing. And then he's got that.
Nice play there and a great read. Steps right up in there and occasionally taking that ball off the deck like that. We know it's going with a quick, sharp stroke. It's exactly what he did there. Salazar draws the air. Good. Halbar on Nicolescu in the other women's quarterfinal, going deep 3 sets with Alexandra and Cooper. That's a tough battle there. It's going to pass the 2.5 hour mark.
Well, considering we're in game 3, this is a battle of wills as well.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
on
told
pace for
somebody
something similar.
I might meet him for dinner at 6:30. I think that's not likely. I think we'll be more like 7 o'clock minimum. And this is a great match, though. Really high quality.
You know, that last shot, one of the few loose balls, you know, Juan, he's hit a couple questionable ground strokes. But the interesting part about his strategy is I think he's just trying to increase the variation, try different shots. Obviously, he's hit a couple cut winners. But even from the baseline, he's lobbing, he's driving, but he's also just throwing that off speed and really trying to give these guys a different look. Maybe he's pressing, but again, it's 2-1 in the first set. I think we have a lot of paddle ahead of us.
We got a ton of paddle ahead of us. I will caution against those type of shots, though, against these guys because they're so long and they are pretty wary. But the match so far has been really high quality, and both teams doing what they need to do. It's just coming down to execution at this point.
There it is, Regalado. Gotta love it. So Jose Salazar sitting in the deuce court, receiving from Juan Arraya, who's on the far side. You mentioned earlier, Brad, that Arraya and McNerney won Chicago Charities, the Grand Prix earlier in the season. And I think these two have 2 tour victories for Regalado and Salazar. So this is as good as a matchup in a quarterfinal as you're going to get.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, they just haven't broken through yet at the Grand Prix. You know, and that's the only reason why there wouldn't be a top-seeded team here. They are having their year, and they have announced themselves. Oh, that was wide, yeah.
Yep, looked wide from my view, and I think Juan was a little bit blocked by McNerney, but that was that sort of offense block volley that Graham has. He just missed it.
All right, couple of loose errors here. Making the
Yeah, as hard as the points are to earn, making an early point error is going to be frustrating for these two, but let's see if they can turn it around.
Yeah, right now, I mean, that's been the thing, you know, we talked about not having the cut winner, but the other thing that's great about it is they're also never playing shots. Like, Steve, do you think they've played a single shot that's out of their zone or been a bad choice yet?
Not one. I mean, they've only had a couple errors, maybe 2 errors. So they're just not playing above themselves, partly speaking to the level they have, but they're just incredibly patient. They hit the shots that they have, and you know, again, it's a little early. You get deeper into a match, and sometimes people start to press, but they're just very calm and patient, and their shot selections, you know, just incredibly high.
Yeah, so they've made 0 tactical or even, you know, very little technical mistakes. I mean, and and also, though, Arraya's made 4 or 5 errors, right? Now, he's finished a few, but that's the difference in the match right now, just those mistakes. I don't know if even McNerney's made very many. Did he call himself a donkey, a burro? Is that what it was?
He did. So that's the change of pace that Juan was sort of trying in the first couple games, and I think that was part of his intent. They're so athletic. Alvey is trying to cover a lot of the court, which he should be on that side, but Juan just caught him about a half a step back. That's classic Juan Arraya with just the incredible spin to the ad court on that overhead.
Stick there. Good ball right at the crease. I tell you, he's got a good roller.
I'm surprised Graham let that one go back. Yep.
Yeah. He's got a good roller at the corner. And one of the few guys to go from a little chip push drive off the screen to a topspin flick on the backhand side.
Great communication, alerting him of the blitz.
Oh, long. All right, confirmed by the umpire. Right, he's going to stand there and hold his completely disconsolate countenance there.
Yeah, looked at touch long. It was a great point. A couple transitions, which is sort of great to see. I think that desire for that point was as much as the reality of where that ball bounced, but it was certainly one of those calls that's maybe, you know, right in there, pick 'em.
You know, what's interesting is if you asked me right now, could these guys, you know, Salazar and Regalado, win a national championship right now, you know, having just played for this short a time, I would say yes. They could win this year. I mean, they're so steady. They're giving. You have to beat them.
You have to beat them for sure.
And every
That's
time they're learning.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, you know, not that any of the other top 5 or top 10 teams can also beat them, but they just haven't had a lot of losses that I've seen that, you finish the match and you're just kind of like, they just didn't have it today. They fight, they're smart, they're patient, and, knowing the momentum swings and sort of how energy can dominate a paddle match, I tend to agree. Now, will they? Maybe not, but I think they're going to be right in there. Yeah. Both teams really digging into a patient, well thought out point, maybe tightening up some of the loose shots. Obviously, this is a big game. The difference between 3-2 and 4-1 is pretty significant.
This is what's great about and interesting about the style that Salazar and Alvarado are playing is when they get up. Usually sometimes you're like, oh, these guys hopefully they'll give me a few errors and I'll get right back into it. They tend to not give you those errors. It's that much more of an uphill battle once you give them sort of this lead. You're going to have to fight even harder because they're willing. They're going to play. They're going to wait for the right opportunities here.
They're making them earn every point in this game. I think this game is sort of the example of that thought. They're just going to dig in, play smart, and they don't give up free shots. So we're probably at the 50 to 60 shot mark at this point.
All right, and they don't seem like they're going to crack. They don't look like they're going to get impatient. And what's sort of been, and this is sort of the basics of the old school type of game, and that's why the people who say the game's never changed. The games has changed. There are more things in it, but still, this is still the basis of the game, and these guys are playing it perfectly. When's the last time they've hit a drive?
Yeah. I think that's the 4th nick of the point. That one was probably the biggest one that came out, but there's one.
Great coverage. He fakes the cut drop. There's the drive, but again, perfect times, and they've softened them up with about 65 lobs and just great defense. And then finally, Arraya just can't make one more, and it's tough. If they keep playing like this and play this kind of defense, I don't see how these guys are going to take them out.
Yeah, 100 shots. You got to make sure you know what the score is.
That's right.
30 all. Huge point that he just grinded out. I think Juan may have been a little bit ambitious on that last cutter, but I mean, you're 100 shots in.
Yeah, that's the trick, right? After a certain point, the players who want to win some points are apt to try to win them even harder, right? But these guys are willing to just take the right ball. They're trying to win points, but they're doing it with specific lower risk shots for them, and there's just a great overhead there. They weren't able to cover that crease. All right, so break point.
Great poise by Jose Salazar, just putting his racket on the ball, not really trying to do anything with it.
Yeah, once he noticed that there was not a blitz coming, he just calmly waited, just pushed it deep. Great lob. This is a setup ball. Nice cutoff there from Regalado. Oh, that's just so good.
8 in the point.
That was great hands by all players. That's a great transition ball. And Arraya a little late getting up there, but beautifully played in every respect. The one overhead that he spiked up there gave him that look, but every other ball, perfect play. All right, he's looking for the trailer and McNerney there, but I don't think McNerney knew he was going to blitz there. Arraya sometimes will blitz, sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah, Alvey just moved forward, kept a very firm racket, and here's Juan. I think Juan's starting to press.
He definitely is pressing. He was trying to hit him with that. He wasn't trying to hit it in, and it's because he's having a hard time finishing those points, Steve.
Volley is a proud sponsor of the APTA. As the first AI-enabled training experience, Volley modernizes racket sports by delivering the on-demand dynamic system for live play training and better workouts. Volley creates a community to connect pros and players while giving users personalized performance insights to track progress and customize their practice. Ask your pro about a Volley lesson today, and for more information, visit getvolley.com.
You know, Steve, I think you're right. You know, when you say Arraya's starting to press a little, they're having a hard time winning any of these points, and the other guys aren't breaking down. They're not overplaying their shots. Arraya wants them to come after him with more drives so he can volley back offensively, but they're not doing it. They're waiting him out, lobbing back, taking one strike in every 20 balls, and just defending most of their big hits, and it's a mental toll. And when your opponent is going to be mentally tough enough to do that, sometimes it's incumbent upon you to be able to do it as well. And that's the tough part, that mental part of paddle. And these guys are willing to dump it. And this play right here where they'll dump it to McNerney one after another in the backcourt, that would be the knock on McNerney. He can control the ball with his lobs and things, but he won't strike off a soft push like that to the net. He doesn't really have a backhand drive off the deck. And his forehand drive's gotten better, but it still wouldn't be considered a killer. So these dump balls, it's going to be maddening for Arraya if they just keep doing it. They're going to have to figure out some switches in the backcourt, but perfect tactical set so far, working for their strengths for Salazar and Regalado, and kind of almost against the Arraya McNerney. They're taking away as many offensive volleys and making them press. Look, just dump it. This is the knock, and have the patience to do it again. Here we go. See, there's a good look opportunity, but they closed off the net so well there after that second one. They had to go back up to the lob, but Arraya gets his one look, and he doesn't want to let it go. He's going to hit another one because now the point's moving.
Yeah, he let the energy of the point sort of dictate the shot he played, and it wasn't the right shot.
That's a good third panel smash there to move him out of position.
Yeah, I mean, the drive just put Graham in a defensive position. I mean, Juan's doing the right thing. He's trying to pick his spots and change the pace, but it just doesn't even phase these guys. And there's a loose error in the net.
Yeah, these points are moving in the wrong direction, and the energy is moving in the wrong direction right now for Arraya McNerney. What's even worse is, like, Salazar and Regalado, they don't fist pump. They just go about it, and it's just another play, and it's perfect tactical play. They know what they're doing. Whenever they want it, they're just going to pop in a little dumper. And the pace of the play is not the pace Arraya wants, so he wants to force a different tactic, but he's making errors when he's trying to force it. And this play has slowed down from the first 2 games. And if this pace of play stays like this, it's going to be hard-pressed, I think, for Arraya and McNerney to find a way to win enough points, because they're not going to get those offensive volleys. And then it's going to become a test of wills, and right now,
It almost seems like Regalado and Salazar are strategically and tactically executing the perfect match. I'm curious to think, how intentional it is versus how the match has just sort of come to them. But you're right. The things that McNerney has, the first 2 games, boy, he hit 2 of the most beautiful directed block volleys, and he hasn't hit one in the last 25 minutes. Right. They just haven't given him that shot.
Well, I think Salazar absolutely learned. I mean, he was playing again with Nunez in Chicago, but that, the blitzing thing, because Nunez loves to get moving in there as well, wasn't really helping them against those guys. And so we haven't seen them blitz much at all today. And really, they're just waiting out the lobs until they get a good strike like that. And that was a great strike. He got that actually well placed up high on McNerney. We got basically, I'm not going to say it's triple set point, but it's, for 5-1 down, it's a tough haul, especially, as I said, with the way these guys are playing. If they're going to continue playing this smart tactically and make you expend this much energy to win 1 point, the comeback from 5-1 is even that much more daunting. Oh, that's a sick shot around the post there. It wasn't around the post, but around kind of a turnaround drive there.
It looked like a little bit of resignation from Juan Arraya, but he just sort of slid back and sort of striped it down the line. What a amazing, there it is. But I think you could see as much on Juan's face as that ball passed him, that this is a tough, they haven't figured out what to do.
Look,
it takes a lot to win a point, to what you said, yeah. Yeah,
they were able to get a lob error there, but few and far between, and it wasn't even a tactical error. These guys are just, he just missed. Eventually, they're going to miss a ball or 2. And maybe if they have a few errors, I mean, right now, they're playing what we would consider a flawless, error-free match. Oh, nice play there. 2 break points back. A little confusion there from Regalado and Salazar.
Yeah, it seems like they're chasing some. They're chasing some of the same balls, almost getting a little bit too lost in the point, and McNerney just sort of made him pay. Just saw the opening. Regalado was really trying to sort of be a bit ambitious on Jose's side of the court, and yeah, Graham saw the opening.
Good help call there. There's another help call. There should be. This would be a huge moment, and what a great energy boost for Arraya McNerney if they can take this game back from love 40 down. I mean, what a difference between 5-1 and 4-2.
And I think we know Juan loves energy. He, lives through these momentum swings, and he looks a little bit off, a little bit sort of, lower energy than he should be, and this could be the difference. This is a huge point.
cutter there. Well played. He's doing a perfect job. In terms of technique, you can see Regalado just putting his paddle down, right, and setting it underneath the ball.
Wide open face. Yep.
And just
Yep.
lifting it up. So there's no chance that he's going to miss. That's a great lob. They're putting pressure on him here, though. Again, just
And they're making him hit every shot, every different opportunity to give some variation to Alvy Regalado in that corner. You know, he's had to chase 2 screens. He's had to hit it off 1 screen. He's had to hit it off the deck.
Oh, wow.
There it is.
That's a great point there from Arraya McNerney. Intentional. Still took him 60 balls, but beautifully done. See if they go right back at him. They're doing a good job. They're really trying to spot those creases. They're hitting right at the crease. You got another one there. Well, there's a good down the line lob. Finally controls it, and that makes such a difference. But misses it wide, but it was a good look there from Salazar. He tried to make it too good.
Agreed. He had it. He just missed it. It was probably the right shot to keep them honest down the line. He just pushed it a bit.
All right, so game
All right,
point.
this could be, yep.
What a move. Like Steve, that he baited him into that down-up overhead, quickly came in and stuffed him.
Well, I think that's the shot he loves. And oh boy, miscommunication.
Yeah.
Regalado, you know, in the first couple of games, he showed that attempt 3 or 4 times, didn't get it, maybe got it 1 out of 4 times, and he almost played it right into Juan's hand, and Juan gave it to him. A couple loose volleys. There we are, 5-1.
Yeah, that was a bad overhead, though, from Arraya. He tried to cross the court from way back there, just right into the Salazar forehand. He just bumped it. 5-1. Here it is again. Great shot, nice blitz. He gets what he wants there, able to finish him off. The problem is that's been, you know, not enough of those. And that's due to Regalado and Salazar just playing, you know, error-free. You know, it's just great match.
Yeah, Juan's really taking a chance by trying to step in on that return. Thankfully, Graham learned from the last time to sort of cover him there.
He's trying desperately to find a way to stop this, right? You know, when they're just pushing it back deep and they're getting them, even that little flipper shot there, you want Arraya to try that. He's trying desperately to make this thing move faster. Placing the beat, flips across. Good look, that's the shot right there. They're just going to poof it. The little push shot right there, and that's the knock on McNerney, the one knock. But that time he stuffed it. Great job. So good job, and his forehand definitely is getting better.
Yeah, he's had a couple drives. Oh, and that's tremendous sort of a push backhand slice drive. It's just a beautiful shot, and then he's got the touch at the net. Can't even chase it down.
Yeah, it was a masterful shot, although I will say I think Salazar should have been on the line looking for it there as he's forcing that down the line. It's just ridiculous, he says to himself. I mean, the window he's trying to hit it in is very tough. You're going to miss some of those if you go for it. All right, so right back to deuce. I don't know if it's good or bad if they win this game. Everything's like about getting the right kind of mental energy right now. And like I said, Regalado and Salazar just making them work hard for every point. This is the first game where they've actually had a few quick ones.
And they're, I mean, truly winning the points with some amazing shots. And, you know, as quickly as they were 15-40, you know, went back to deuce because, you know, they earned 2 points and then they're making some loose errors. And this is, you know, this is going to be a set that, you know, if they don't make it out of this game, I don't know if they need to take a break, injury timeout, rethink their approach, but there's just something that tactically Salazar and Regalado are sort of answering every different thing that Juan and Graham are trying.
Yeah, look, so he's just going to go to this. Watch. Push. He'll even take the air out of it like that. There you go. That's the one thing, and it just deadens the game, slows it down, and then they can see the offense coming. And it's sort of a paddle 101 thing, too. I mean, this is your typical thing. So whenever these guys are driving, they're on the net quickly because they have time to get back in. And, you know, unless McNerney's going to take the ball early or blitz, they've got that to go to. Whereas Arraya and McNerney really don't have as much of a go-to spot against, you know, Salazar and Regalado. And Regalado are willing to, if they hit it there anyway, just hit 1,000 more balls. And I'm not sure mentally that, I think McNerney is mentally prepared for this. I'm not sure Arraya is.
Well, it's the third match of the day. I don't think either of them have been pressed too much, but you know, you have to be willing, at least mentally, to play a 2.5-hour match. And you know, when games are taking 10, 15 minutes, I mean, it's a mental, I don't think today's a physical toll, but it's a mental toll. And the ability for Regalado and Salazar to just play a style of paddle, I mean, they're not going anywhere in a hurry. There's the one you said, I like how you described it, he just takes the air out of it. There's just nothing McNerney can do, and that's just a mental mistake by Arraya.
Yeah, and there's another one. I mean, Arraya just trying to make something happen, middle of the net, and it's all because there's not enough happening for him. Yeah, but even that, wow, he loves the exchange, but he's on the disadvantage, and even Arraya's hands aren't going to come up with that. And you heard it there from the umpire. Salazar Regalado take the first set 6-1. And we'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by CPTC.
So what really interested me about the trainer was the endless opportunities with it. I've gone through a couple ball machines in my career before, and this really was a technologically advanced machine that I've never seen before. Digging into it a little more in depth, I really found the opportunities to use it in my advantage. All right, ladies, just 1 minute, we'll get started. Always trying to recreate these tennis ball machines into paddle ball machines to practice, and this was the first thing on the market that really came out. We have a robust membership here, you know, very active in the paddle community, and I think the volley is going to kind of put us over top as a program. All right, ladies, welcome. All right, today we're going to go over our side back screens. So we've got the volley trainer out here with us today. We'll have 2 on this side hitting. So the cool part about the volley is during lessons when I'm able to use it is I really get a more in-depth connection with my clients. So when I have a lesson out on the court, I can set up the volley to feed a screen, and I don't have to be on the other side of the court kind of yelling to them what they need to change, what they need to do while I'm hitting. I'm really using my my time with them right next to them to make those changes quicker so they can have more success in the long term. Bridget's on the net, Robin sliding over. We are going to be beat by this cross-court lob a lot. I'm Blake Anderson, Director of Rackets at Fairmont Country Club. Try the volley at your club and you won't regret it.
All right, and welcome back to the APTA Tour. We are live from the Orchard Lake Country Club, bringing you men's quarterfinal match action of the 2024 Detroit Invitational Grand Prix, where our third seeds just went down 6-1 to Regalado and Jose Salazar. And Steve, it was a real 6-1. They played a perfect tactical match. They made, I can't even think on one hand how many errors they made. So You know, they
Yeah,
just,
I said, I said during the commercial break it was one-way traffic, and you could say that that's a testament to the offense, but the reality was, they just had no answers for the slow, patient, sort of tactical style that Salazar and Regalado gave them. And at the end of the day, just like that first volley, whether it was pressing or whether it was just mental mistakes, that's a quick, stepping up to serve quick. That's a recipe for a quick match in the first set. That's what we saw.
and there's 2 missed volleys right away there from Arraya. Mentally, he's got to be struggling. He's a guy who plays with spark and energy, and he rides some waves. They come and go, but if he doesn't find a spark or an energy, or if they can't find a way as a team to create some of that, it's going to be tough because these guys are just playing well. That barring, of course, Regalado and Salazar sort of just mentally losing it a little and starting to throw in bad choices and bad shots. But they have made no bad choices and and no bad shots. They might have missed 1 or 2, but really no bad shots. So without that,
they may have made 5 errors, but I think only 1 or 2 of them were loose. I think they went for a couple balls, they had it, they missed it, but they're not making unforced errors, and they're pulling the trigger 30, 40 shots into a point when they have it, and at the net, it's sort of painful for McNerney and Arraya to try and find a way to generate some momentum in the point. There's no energy, and there's really no weakness that's giving them opportunities.
well, and they've done like we were talking about in Chicago when Salazar was playing with Nunez, they played into McNerney. And if you play into McNerney, that means you come after him, a hard ball, hard into the screen, you attack him while he's at the net. That's playing into him. He gets to create off the pace you're giving. When you take all of that away, you take the air out of the ball, he doesn't create the pace there, so they're just making him play to them, and he doesn't have that like thunder forehand that just where he rips it like a Durant or a Mark Powers or so to speak. He's got those things. Great shot. Oh, what a get there from Salazar. And so they're just, when they're at the net, Regalado and Salazar, they're just basically killing them. I think they can't find a way to break their armor up there. And then as a consequence, they press. And they're pressing on both sides of the ball. They're pressing when Salazar and Regalado are in the backcourt because they can't get them to miss there, and they're pressing while they're at the net because they just are pushing it back at them. See, I like the blitz plays. You got to bring some of that in because I don't know how they're going to start gaining it, but now they're just going to go back there and make 100 lobs. And we talk about how the game has changed and you can cut finish and do all this stuff, but they're lobbing well enough. And outside of the first 2 games, Steve, how many cut shots have there been for a winner?
Yeah, not many, and I think you and I called that Durant, or no, I guess it was Durant and Mitchell who played them in Philly, and it was just Johan probably hit 10 cut winners in that match, and it was a 3-setter if I remember correctly. I think they sort of won it confidently about 6-3 in the third, but they had to generate the offense. I think, Johan just absolutely gave a masterclass on, how to control the net. Arraya and McNerney aren't able to sort of find that same, cadence and ability to sort of direct the point. These guys I think their paddle IQ is getting higher and higher every turn they play. There's so much energy and athleticism that you see when Regalado plays. Honestly, there hasn't been a ton of it tonight. They've just played like that push, volley. They're bringing a different style to one of the best teams in the game, and they've really just not given them anything.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say a different style, but this is not a different style. This is something that's been done for a million years. They're just willing to do it. This isn't rocket science. Push the ball deep, take the air out of the ball, and make McNerney beat you with a ball off the deck that has no pace. But people haven't been willing to do it. They're just doing it. Like here.
And it's not new to you. It's new to them. You're right. This isn't cutting edge paddle, but they're bringing new styles to their game, not to the paddle game.
Yeah.
I mean, Regalado, I think, brings some great racket skills and athleticism to paddle. You're right, not tonight. This is not.
This is
anything,
tactical. Yeah.
It's tactical, and it's impressive to watch. Most people don't have the patience, or maybe the lack of ego, to play that volley 78 times. But the reality is, well, Graham got one to go after there, but they haven't been able to do anything with it.
Yeah, and even then it was sort of like nonplussed right back, and he's getting 1 out of 20, and eventually somebody's going to crack here. And, I personally think they could add Arraya in here, a couple more balls, do the dumps, and then Araya's going to get impatient. That's the key. And then sort of capitalize on him to trying to force something to happen. But I think Arraya, he's seemingly at this point, he's gotten more willing to stop forcing because I think he knows. If he forces here, it's just not what you're looking to do, because it's hard to hit a winner, and they're not giving you balls. They're also hitting them slow enough where they have the time to see the drive coming, and they can close off the net again. Because we talk about this they're giving themselves the time to go back in. And McNerney's settled into making this a mental battle here, like, go ahead, you won't miss, I'm not going to miss. He's not even bothering to throw in a blitz or anything. He's just kind of going to do what they do. And this is
I just got a message from Sam Byram, who's one of my partners in crime in the Baltimore paddle community, and his text said, they have no answers. And I would actually say it's not that they have no answers. I mean, they just haven't figured out offense. It's not that they're getting overpowered. It's not that they're, failing against anything too overpowering. This is a match they have to win. And the reality is they may not have the skills to win this style of paddle match today. This is not, everyday paddle, but yeah.
Well, it can be, though. So if the other team is willing to do it, it can be. The point is, though, there is no answer. Unless you can generate your own pace, they're giving them no pace to work with. McNerney loves screen drives. You hit it hard into the screen and it's coming off, he loves it. He follows it up with a blitz. You take all the air out of the ball and he's got to generate it all his own pace. He does not love that. But now, Arraya and McNerney, at least, they're going to play this point. And if they can show them they'll play a couple of these and win them, then maybe the other guys go right back to, or start to speed it up a little bit more because maybe they get tired of it. And so it's almost like right now it's just a test of wills, because maybe this is the actual answer. Wait out this point. They're not even really going for a lot of creases. That time you see Salazar is going, but the more he starts speeding it up at the crease, it actually might be kind of good for them down the road. And we're going to, we could put this one on a shot clock here. This could go down to, we're definitely probably, you think we're at 100 balls yet? I think we probably are.
Yeah, we're close. Yeah, we're close.
There's a little something going on. Nice. Good cover from Arraya. And you see Araya's settled in now. He's not going to make the error here. He's not going to force it unless he has a good look. Or at least so far. And look and McNerney's going to do the same. So battle of wills here, and that's a shot there that you would see a lot of guys try to rip it. They're just going to go one after another, and taking Arraya completely out of this match.
No, we went to commercial after the set. I would have loved to put a camera right on Graham and want Arraya to sort of see mentally how engaged they were in communication, not in communication, trying to sort of, show frustration or really thinking through, you're right, this may be a bit of a sign that they're trying to, just bear down and realize that they have to play a different type of paddle. But let's see, we're probably at 150 or more shots.
Oh, yeah.
No one's in a rush to go anywhere.
You know, this is a long point, and it's just a mental grind, and it's showing your opponent that you're willing. You know, and if you show them that, now we're just going to have some sort of OK Corral standoff. You know, you play 100 lobs, I'll play 101 push overheads to you. I'm not going to speed it up if you want me to, but they are starting to speed it up slowly because even they're running out of it. There he goes back. And I think McNerney's, he's dialed in. He's like,
Yeah, this lack of, you know, not controlling the point with sort of a cut / overhead with different types of spins, different types of speeds. Yeah, it's, again, just patient. Graham made the right move, but they just started the point over.
yep. No, this is the mistake. That's the mistake. He forced it, and he was right there for the drop volley. And when a point goes long like that, it takes on even more significance, but gives him the high five. But that's exactly the one mistake right there. You know, he's on the net. Great drop volley.
He's on the net. Arraya's butt's on the screen. You know, all four, you know, just very confident movement by Alvi Regalado. But yeah, just shot selection. And unfortunately, it was 235 shots into the point.
Yes. Yeah, that's back to the forcing again. He had one in him. Now he's going too fast. He had 1 point like that in him. It didn't work. And now speeding up. But I get it. The issue here is, do the other teams take a lesson on this? Will they all start doing this to Arraya and McNerney? And if they do, what are they going to do? Right? I mean, Sam's right and Byron's right. And there's no answer in it because there's no answer in how they can get this match to speed up the way they want it to.
Right.
Because Arraya's, most people's skills, if you have a better skill set, it's wasted out here because this isn't about shot making. It's about, can you make this shot? And all they're doing is hitting a shot that's tough for McNerney to make and do damage with. So they dump it, and then when he, you know, if he tries to hit it, they tend to end it with in better shape than they were before because they hit an offensive volley or they attack back. So, you know, it's just flipping the script on playing at these guys, and it's taken all the game away from them. We talked about how offensively they are, you know, amazing at hitting volleys at the net. But they're only amazing if you give them those shots and the points are speeding up and they can see them coming. But once you slow it down to this and then you come out a quick strike after 20 balls and you've shown them that you're not going to just let them beat you in the screens, things change dramatically.
And it's great to see this point with Juan Arraya at the net because it's just such a contrast how he's trying to control the point with, you know, not only placement of the overhead, but different spins, different directions, which is honestly, Regalado and Salazar may not have hit one sort of cutting overhead as such. They've pushed a couple into a two screen, but I mean, it's just a completely different approach. Oh, what a forehand by Salazar. Absolutely smoked it.
Yep, and that's after another 30 balls, 2-0. And they're showing them they got every answer out here. And also, you know, when they're hitting a cut overhead, it's an offensive shot. It actually speeds the point up, right? So everything you do when you hit a cut overhead is making things faster. They know exactly what they're doing. They're not trying to make it faster. They're trying to make it slower and saying, what are you going to do if we make this thing slower? And right now the answer is nothing. You know, it's tough.
You know, it's interesting, you know, the style that they're showing, Regalado and Salazar, at the net, if you think of a 3 or 4 match day in a Grand Prix, in a tour event, they're, you know, absolute, you know, physical endurance tests, it's almost that type of play it's almost a little easier on your shoulder, a little easier on your body. You don't have to load your legs as much. I tell you what, they don't need it because their athleticism and their youth, is enough to, sort of bring them through these long days. But it's, that shot there is very little exertion. I think about some of the matches I've been in my league this year. My partner, Stu Linus, he has a great cut/overhead. The amount of energy he puts into the ball, we're wiped after a set, after 2 sets. These guys are very patient. They're very sort of slow and methodical. And I really think it sort of saves their body. Juan Arraya's overhead is, it's a tough ball on the shoulder if you hit 75 of them in a point.
Yeah, it's physical. The points don't go 100 balls, though. Yeah. But this takes, what you're saying is absolutely right. It takes 0 effort. And also, because they're putting so much time in the ball, like it's in the air so long, they don't have, they can see the quickness to come back in. They don't have a lot to position themselves. And that time they actually sped it up with a cut overhead. And, of course, what happened? It worked against them. So it was a mistake the first time they went for a cut shot. It comes out against them. It's not how they're looking to win this match. In fact, if they just keep their strategy going, I don't even see how Arraya and McNerney get in this thing.
Well, there's nothing yet that makes me think that either. It's they have the game. Paddle's a game of momentum. It's the second you think it's over, paddle matches have this weird way of turning. But I agree. There's nothing that we're seeing. It makes me think it's 2 points away and a little bit of energy from flipping the direction of the match.
Yeah, and it's also like they're not missing anything, but it's more than that. They're also taking strikes. You give them an easy ball, they're whacking it. They're just waiting to the right ball, and they're playing it on their terms, not yours. And they're not baiting you into any, they're not, taking any bait on anything. You speed it up, that doesn't matter. They'll slow it back down again. But you give me a ball, I'm going to strike where I can move forward to it. I'm going to hit it. Here's the ball. He's going to hit that. Now they'll come in. All right, so they're doing it everything they want, and they're getting exactly the looks they want. And then they're just basically taking Arraya completely out of the game. So Araya's ability to create, it's, non-existent. Again, though, that's not what they want there, but they're starting to do it a little bit now, and every time, so the last 2 times, that time he sped it up with a hard overhead. It's probably hard for them to process. Those are big mistakes. They've just lost the last 2 points. Well, it's probably not hard for them to process it, but it's just hard to be as disciplined all the time. And it's more fun to hit a ball hard every now and then.
That's right. Yeah, you have to satisfy your, animal instinct in a way, and it's just, there it is. All right, a little bit of life. They need a lot of life, but let's see. That's a huge game to keep them in the second set.
Yeah, and Arraya, I think they have to be at the net to win this, but the problem is, though, they're really doing the same thing on both sides of the ball. In the backcourt, they're playing the same way they are even at the net. They're just making Arraya and McNerney hit too many overheads. They can't find a way to hurt them even there, but they have a much better chance when they're at the net. Right now on the baseline, with them just dumping the ball to McNerney and having the willingness to do that, it's going to be brutal for Arraya and McNerney. So they got to get in, as that's their best chance. But even there, it's going to be hard. So good job to them. And, Regalado and Salazar have to realize at that point, it was an even-up game, and then they sped up 2 points and immediately lost them both. That's the way they're going to allow those guys to get back into the match. But there's a good shot through. Now at least they're at the net. It's their best chance to win a point. Still tough, though.
One too many, and I think he's got the shot, but that was a bit high.
All right. It's a great return there from McNerney. They got the net twice here. Yeah, the problem is, like, at this point, too, it's almost like Arraya's used to missing an occasional cutter. I mean, it's never a match he hasn't missed a cutter. He's never 100% on them, but he's used to having enough winners and opportunities to sort of make up for it, so he's on the plus side. It's like so few opportunities right now that when you miss another one, it feels worse, you know? Nice dig. Right at the crease. Good play. These guys are tough. Just got a text from Martin Bostrom. Oh, you're saying the same thing, you know, that the McNerney and Arraya have to have the net, and we hope he's doing well. Let us know how your finger is there. You can relate that story about how you fought off those guys and saved that busload of kids and dislocated your finger, or if it's really just
Now,
the other story.
was it Martin and Regalado last week, right? Is that who played together?
I think so, yeah.
Martin played with Regalado?
Yeah.
That was a great paddle. That was, I actually liked them as a team a lot. It was a great contrast of, yeah, experience, and that was a really good paddle. All right, so 30 all. They're all big points, but this is the point that McNerney and Arraya have struggled with, how to find an opening.
There, he finally made a move, though. Good. Pushed it up the line. He made a move in, took it early. That's a great point there. McNerney showing a little different look. Not content to wait, but he moves back in, and they got sucked into a bad overhead there. Good play. Yeah, a little turn here, a little crack in the armor. We'll see if they can keep getting wise to what tactic they need to use, how they can get these guys, how they can get their offense in the backcourt and develop some attacking. So, you know, the other things they could start to do too, I think, is try to take the ball a little earlier and maybe block lob a little lower. You know, you put up these balls higher, and if you block lob a little lower with a little push, it'll force them kind of back, and they have to hit more overheads at the top of the hitting zone, which means they got to hit them down or they got to really pull them up. It should allow you to make some blitz moves or occasionally get a screen drive. But when the ball's coming like down.
I love the idea. Yeah, I think that's a great, you know, potential piece of advice. We always talk about, you know, mixing up overheads to create variation for the person receiving it. But what you're trying to do is, yeah, change the angle, change the position where they're making contact. And I think you've, you know, at least found something different that they could try. Make them hit that push volley from a different position, and yeah, see if it has the same stick. You're right, that really high overhead, you have all the time in the world to let it come down into your strike zone, hit it shoulder level, hit it below shoulder level. I think it's a great idea, but tactically it may be tough to execute.
I don't think they've even thought about it yet, so.
Yeah.
You take that one a little earlier, and McNerney's got a great block volley that he could take early. He could step into that, push it a little lower, but still, I mean, right now, this is just about, you see Arraya trying to make a move over there, but it's like they have just frozen him out of the game there. He's almost quit making moves because he realized when he started trying to force and make the moves, that's when it got bad for him, and they went down 6-1 in a hurry. Yep. You know, so he recognizes that. So by taking that away alone, he's decreasing the amount of points that these guys are winning right away. So it's becoming at least a match, but it doesn't answer it doesn't solve anything. But I tell you, if they get this, that's 2 games in a row.
Well, the first 2 games of the set, I think they probably had 5 or 6 errors, and some of them were on the second or third shot. So they're buckling down, they're extending the points. Whether or not they can find an opening, I think they have in a few cases. But, you know, you've said this a few times. Every point becomes critical. And, you know, when you have a 100, 150 shot rally, it's painful when you lose it. So,
oh man, Deuce. I mean, that's just, I like everything about that point, but the one underneath the net, that's just tough. I mean, Arraya can do it. I mean, there's no question. He's not ready. He's not ready. Yeah. All right, we're still talking to McNerney there. Love Regalado serve. He just kind of lays it in there, and he's like, go ahead, hit it. You know, nothing fancy. Put it in the box. There's a great cut finisher there. Arraya has so many varieties, from the one that dies low to that one he lets it drop and he hits through it long into the snowboard, basically. That's it. There's some action.
yeah, he's baiting them for it, and he hasn't gotten it in about, 45 minutes.
No, but they've made a difference here. You know, McNerney and Arraya are settling at least into a battle. You know, they're making this a match, and right now they're good shot here to make this 2-2, 2 games in a row, and that's a lot of momentum for them, especially since it's been hard to find any of it. And if they can show they can win a few of these, that'll make it so Regalado and Salazar might have to start questioning their strategies. All right, so in our other stream court, Burris and Nunez just in a flat-out battle with Frazier and Morgan, 6-all, and it's great to see. You know, Burris started off the season, he's hurt, assist on his ankle, this and that. He's starting to feel healthy again. Great to have him back. And there we go. See, that's one of the few sides. He's moving away, not forward. One of the few bad errors there for them to make. And perfect timing, 2-all, 2 games in a row here for Arraya McNerney. And they've buckled down here.
Yeah, great change in momentum. We sort of predicted it was out there. We just didn't know how they would get there. But here we are, 2-all. Let's see if they can, win or lose this game. I think they have to go deep, right? They have to limit the errors. That was obviously a tough nick in that point. But they got to go deep in the points.
Oh, Arraya just gets tagged there. Great shot, but a bad switching overhead there from McNerney. Surprising not that Arraya had his paddle out, but he was not ready for that one. Okay, got an error there, one of the few ones. And they are starting to creep in slowly here from, Salazar and Regalado.
It's almost like they have pressed when they don't need to press. Let's see here. 30-15 to the receiving team, but limiting the errors. Oh, I shouldn't have said it.
What's the matter with you? Sullivan.
Yeah.
You gave him the kibosh. But see, we haven't seen any of those just basic errors there out of Salazar. And a strategy like they're playing too takes its toll on everyone, and we've seen now it's the moment for Arraya and McNerney to capitalize, because, you get a couple of missed returns like that. We didn't see any of those in the first set. Now, that said, the first set was very much helped by Arraya and McNerney's unwillingness to play these long points, or Araya's unwillingness to play them, and so they were just giving them too many errors and, allowing them to just win these points. But now that they're playing long, it's actually allowing Salazar and Regalado to miss a couple. Oh, good hands there.
Yep, Juan started to retreat, but the ball just sort of sat up and allowed them to hold their ground. Yeah, Salazar has that backhand. He's only hit a couple of them tonight.
Yeah, they have offense on all sides. I actually haven't seen Regalado hit a backhand. Does he hit the backhand?
Not very often. As an ad court player, you can see like these high balls off the screen. You see a lot of people will hold, that two-handed rip. He doesn't even try to hide it. He doesn't go there very often. He has it, but he just doesn't bring it out. That was a quicker game than I think they wanted.
Yeah. All right, well, this is in a manageable place. Sorry about that.
Yep, in collaboration with the APTA, Fusion is at the forefront of personalized gear and apparel. Backed by a team of seasoned industry experts, we provide exclusive access to high-end products from top-tier retail brands, all poised for customization with your club logo, team name, or corporate branding. Our streamlined approach guarantees a hassle-free shopping experience, complemented by custom online storefronts and swift ordering. Visit www.gearbyfusion.com and let Fusion seamlessly weave your branding into elite merchandise.
Yeah, it's an interesting tale of tactics and stories and bearing down mentally here. It's not that highlight reel of transition play and shot making. It's more will, understanding tactics, willingness to bear down and change a game plan that's not working. Ooh, called out by Arraya, but I think McNerney had the right of it. I think it was in.
Yep, I agree.
Right at the crease. Oh, that is just well done.
Nasty, nasty.
Across the ball, inside out. So that ball moved away from them. It was going into the screen, and then it bit. It just made him look like he'd never played a screen before. He made 100 before. It was just a beautiful shot. But the combination was perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. I was about to say, Salazar has scraped more balls and sort of patiently dug out of the deuce court, with a forehand than a lot of people I've seen. And I think Juan just threw a different ball at him. I mean, obviously he doesn't hit a lot of rollers down the line like that, but he almost hit Salazar in the mouth with that one.
Yeah, he set him up perfectly, low cutter in, and then the hard outside in roller wasn't even over the top. That ball wasn't moving over the top. That ball was moving off to the side, so it bit to the side.
Yeah.
And then when it hits the side screen, it bites in. But he was toast the moment Arraya hit it, because he knew actually that it was going to go back behind him and die in the back. So he had to get it. So he raced over there, and yeah, it was just over. Stand in a little now. I'd love to see McNerney stand in a little bit.
Yeah, those last two balls, there's a lot of guys at this level that are going to take a crack at them.
So there's an awesome barbecue going on out here at Orchard Lake Country Club. Packed house outside. Fire pit's going. It's a very cool paddle community out here outside of Detroit.
Yeah, for February in Detroit, it looks like just about perfect paddle weather from a, not only cloudy skies, but the temperatures obviously maybe uniquely mild for Detroit.
Yeah, it's not bad at all out. There's a bit of chill in the air. It's probably getting down to mid-30 30s right now, 35 maybe. Now they're bearing down here and making them play this really long point. Wow. This is where Arraya, you got to watch. He's going to go for it. Will he make it or will he press too hard? Getting long enough. All right, there's the cut, but easily gotten. Oh, Arraya working some magic. Yeah, that was like, I think Regalado thought he was just going to bail Arraya, but Arraya stands there when you think a normal person would just leave.
That's the McNerney push volley, but Regalado was just patiently there waiting for it.
He had a tough dig there, but it's a little dangerous. Nice. Around the post. Covered. Oh, smart play. See, there's the intelligence. Well, he goes between the legs.
No. The look on Araya's face, I wish the camera stuck with him. What a point. Oh, that was around the net. That was nasty. Beautiful shot.
Crazy, but easily covered, by the way, from McNerney. Great return there. There was a lot of everything at that point.
Yeah, the last return, I mean, Graham sort of went upper quadrant body at Alvey, but at the end of the day, I think it's a smart play. You have to mix it up. Sometimes there's maybe a little bit too much respect for the top players. You see those things happen in league matches all the time where there's sort of pushing people off the net, and I think it shows a little bit that maybe McNerney and Arraya are starting to dig in here.
Well, they're definitely digging in. I mean, this would be over if they hadn't, right? So they're making a match of it. This is a huge game and a huge point here. But, yeah, I think he just got caught poaching there, actually. Regalado was just like a good storm. It was a great return, but he moved almost right into it, actually, Regalado. But it was still, I love the way at least Arraya, has recognized I can't make this happen one way or another. I got to roll with the punches here. But they are exposing kind of like, Regalado, Salazar, a playbook of what people might want to start doing. But now their ability to defend and place that ball in and their length in covering the net, they're just a tough out. They're really good. You got to beat them. Oh, he catches him reaching. What a point there from Arraya McNerney.
Great, patient point, mixed it up. I think it's one of the few nicks that Salazar hasn't defended, but great point by Arraya McNerney.
Time.
Oh, there's a great blitz move. Huge. That's what they need more of. A smart play to lob that ball.
Yeah.
Two-handers coming. Played that overhead a little. I like him to only take his attacking balls. He doesn't want to give him opportunities. Stay up at that net. Hold on to it. Smart. Oh, goodness. Just out. Deuce. Wow.
Good point. Just, yeah, push the lob a little too deep.
It's a unique match. It's
Huge game.
Yeah, it's not all highlight reels. It's more about tempo, understanding strategy, and, you know, seeing these kind of moments. They've done a really, really great job. And this is what we talked about in the beginning, Steve, and you brought it up, just the poise and how fast these guys are learning for Salazar and Regalado.
Smart for Salazar. Don't give that ball a chance to hit the neck.
Yeah, it's a great point. That's a tough shot there. That off-pace drive, I do not like that for these guys. Stick it or don't. Like that. Great volley from Arraya. It's just there. Love it.
McNerney knows exactly where that drive's going, but all three of the last drives, and it's almost more typical that line is wide open, but Regalado and Salazar can't find it. McNerney's just such a presence at the net. No, he's moving to the spot before they hit it. Oh, what a dig. That was a great cut. Another one. Masterclass.
Yeah.
Juan Arraya, 3 perfect, right pace, right amount of spin until he got the one he wanted and, executing the cut at the end. What a point.
Oh, he pushed it. Oh, he was good. Wow, I thought that was
tight.
wide to me. But that's an amazing play, and what a break of serve from Arraya. McNerney keeping this thing close.
All right, 3-3 We didn't see it, but they have absolutely changed the tempo of this match.
Well, yeah. Well, they're willing to deal with the tempo now, and McNerney still got to do some ideas. He started throwing in a few blitzes here and there. He can't be passive back there. He's got to not allow them to dump 30 balls. And then when they get their opportunity, they got to get the net, and they're starting to more. And they're, and they've been and Arraya has just, definitely allowed himself to settle into whatever this match is. It may not be what he wants, but he's willing to do it. And they're starting to make a difference and a dent. This is a completely different set. Oh, and they go for the shot and miss it. I think anytime they've tried for a big cutter, it's generally worked against them, Steve.
I know. It's not exact. I think it's just that shot. You said it very early on. It's one of the things they may not yet have in their arsenal. And, oh, my goodness. Alvey leaned into it. Oh, boy.
All right, they're getting some cracks in the armor here. A little fortunate there. It was a great move. And these guys are starting to miss a little now. Oh, quick turnaround drive with a little blitz behind.
All right, a point for their first lead of the match. Yeah, I like the move by Regalado. He makes the offensive move, but he just sort of pops it back. He didn't have it. It went to the backhand side and very patiently just sort of resets.
Yeah, he's not even looking to tee up these forehands now. He's kind of resettling into this mode. And I understand why, but even they can throw in a move here and there now. When these guys are at the net, they're getting more patient now. You know, Arraya's been waiting for the right opportunity. It's a good lob. And you can see, though, anytime it comes off that screen, you watch McNerney. Oh, he's going cut spin back. That is so smart by, that's just a beautiful play. And you hit it that high, that's the problem. It comes up and he reads, he lets it go over the other side of the net. He just hits it on the other side back into the net.
Absolute Padel style. I'm sure there's a lot of people watching that point questioning whether that's legal. It's absolutely legal. Just an unbelievably smart, patient shot. I'm not sure what Graham was thinking to send that ball to the moon, but...
Well, I don't think he meant to hit it that high. I think he was hitting a backhand cutter and hoping for it to die and just really speeding up the point, whatever he felt was right, but that one just way too high, so it actually spun to the other side and made an easy put away. So smart there from Regalado. And that is, and just so we're clear on it, the ball has to cross the net first, right, before you can hit it. You can't reach over and hit the ball before it crosses the net. Once it does, and it goes back over the other side, he waited for it to get down there low, and as long as he doesn't touch the court on the other side or touch the net at all, he can hit it, and he actually hit it just backwards right back into the net. So no shot for Arraya McNerney.
That's I think that's a point to keep on the highlight reel, because you explained the rule absolutely. Oh, what a little high cut volley. You explained the rule perfectly, and you just don't see that scenario arise that often.
No, it does not.
Reaching over the net's one thing, but boy, he almost waited till it hit the ground to just sort of roll it back towards the net.
And 2 drops in a row off 2 bad lobs, though, from Salazar there. So great job. And it is, as you said, Steve, their first lead of the match. They have righted this ship and, changed the strategy and started, just working these points better. Shout out to Jeff Morneau, tuning in, popping in. He definitely wants McNerney to start throwing in more moves, like a lob with a quick feint or a move, so they can't get comfortable just pushing those balls back. But Arraya and McNerney have also definitely done a better job getting the net, turning a little stronger, and they're starting to take back some of the tempo a little bit, and also but not force it, which is, I think, the key, Steve. You know, they're not forcing it to happen, but they're waiting for their moments as well.
Totally agree. And if nothing else, we spoke to the paddle gods at 6-1 to love, not seeing how this match could change directions. And probably 30 to 45 seconds after we said it, here we are.
Yep.
But I think you're right. It wasn't as much the change in tactics. It was the willingness to play the style, the willingness to be patient, let the points come to them, pick and choose when they wanted to play offense. And if nothing else, that's what Juan and Graham have done. They've just allowed the match to be played, you know, at the pace that they're given.
And they're definitely getting a few more mistakes out of, you know, Salazar and Regalado, but they've also allowed them to make them by playing a little more solidly and patient and controlling this. And, you know, and if McNerney starts throwing in some offensive moves here and there, and as long as Arraya can stay involved, it's key. Right now, he's involved and invested mentally, and he's been just rock solid out there in the past bunch here, and he's waiting for his moments. He's not forcing them. You're not seeing that hangdog head. He's in there. He's battling these guys, you know, and the thing is, and the great part about it is he knows he's got to battle these guys for a whole nother set if he just gets this one. So, you know, this is a real incredible comeback for these guys if they're able to pull it off. Just the amount of energy expend and everything else. But this is the last match of the night. They get a good night's sleep. Whoever's winning this coming back tomorrow for the semifinals.
Yeah, leave it all out there. And it's nice to hear from Jeff, teammate of mine at Providence College. And he, of course, has played a lot with Juan Arraya. And I'm sure it's fun for him to sit back and sort of think strategically how to change the momentum in a match like this.
Jeff, of course, a two-handed demon off both sides. Great ball striker for the backcourt. Nobody would call him a great server or volleyer, but great ball striker from the backcourt, actually. Tremendous player, and actually probably, if there goes down as the greatest President's Cup captain of all time, he's probably a lock for that. He is the Vince Lombardi of President's Cup captains.
Well, he was my captain for 2 years playing college tennis, so I can only imagine. But, you know, I've seen 3 cutters, Brad, in the last 5 or 6 points, or, you know, those sort of drop cut volleys. And I think Regalado and Salazar, I sense they're going to have to start trying to win points again. But let's see.
No, I agree with you. No, this thing's changed for sure. I mean, Arraya and McNerney are working on a 4-game-to-1 stretch here, and they're up 30-11 this game. And now the ones kind of a little less of the answers are coming from Salazar and Regalado. Once these guys have stopped, you know, giving us these certain points, where are we going to go? And honestly, they were pretty flawless in the first set. Now, I will say that, you know, Arraya and McNerney helped them out a bunch because of their unwillingness to do certain things. But those guys also just did not miss a ball. And now they're missing some, you know. And, Arraya says, flick it up.
Yeah, he needed someone in his ear to yell up on that. But he tried to sort of catch him off guard with probably a really high difficulty shot.
You know, what's interesting about, you know, Araya's career and his game, he's had a lot of partners, and like you brought up, we were talking about Jeff Morneau, but Jeff Morneau was sort of that prototypical partner for Arraya because Arraya loves to blitz, and Morneau can hit almost anything from the backcourt. He takes it early and hits it down. And so when Arraya was playing with Morneau, he was just constantly ready to move forward. McNerney, a little different style. They're offensive at the net, but he doesn't bring the same backcourt striking. You know, so it's different, and they have to work into different styles, and it's just a testament to his kind of ability to play so many different ways.
All right, we're 50, 60 shots deep.
Wow, great play right in the crease.
Yep.
And it comes popping right out at Salazar. And they're starting to feel a little hangdog there.
Yeah.
They're starting to feel the pressure come back the other way. They were up a set and they were winning house money now, but these guys have worked it all the way back. And they got a chance here for a 5-3 lead. Oof. I like it though, because at least McNerney's starting to throw in some moves. Now, that one wasn't the best one because it was a little bit short for that move, but still, make these guys feel your presence at the net. And that was a great move because he's so far back. Even if he tags that, McNerney's got time to get close enough. Force that error, and now, right here.
I agree. He just put his presence towards the net and made Salazar think about it. And he certainly overthought the volley and looked a bit pressured when he hit it, but it's just giving them something different. What a stick volley by Graham.
Great job. They're starting to catch those nicks. I mean, they've been hitting them at it all day long, so they deserve those shots. Those are not lucky. Top players aim for the crease all the time.
All right, 30 love.
Wow, 2 points for a three-setter here. Oh, dink and blitz there. He held that beautifully.
Oh, it's the first one. It's the first one he's decided to challenge. They've been sort of chasing those and just throwing them straight up in the sky and starting the point over. And I don't think Juan saw it coming.
Oh, he was clearly surprised by that. Tried to hit a flick winner because he felt like he was so out of it. The ball was too far behind him to even control up a lob, so he went with his best option. I love that play. Great choice. Instead of hitting it down, he pushed it right through Arraya. Smart play. And he went up a little higher.
Totally agree. Yep, totally agree. Juan's feet were moving. He was, on his heels, retreating. You put that down up, and he has a chance to chase it off the screen.
Oh, good dig there. Oh, my goodness. And 3 points in a row. It was 30 love. They looked a little kind of like out of sorts, and now they got a break point.
I think I would be tying my shoe if I was Juan at the moment as well. There's a little bit of momentum shift. And Alvey just had the presence to hit the shot. He didn't try to hit it perfectly. I think it was, only a couple feet inside the service line, but there was just something that, Graham couldn't chase it down.
Well,
Too much
he
backspin.
got Arraya going the other way and McNerney moving backwards. It was just, perfectly placed ball. Oh, he goes a big, huge swing, and he's late. Wow, and he knows he wants that one back.
No translation there. Yeah, I agree. I agree. He's hit a couple in the last 2 or 3 games that he just didn't hit for the first 9 games of the match. You know, arguably it was the right shot. He just didn't execute it. He sort of went for a part of the court that wasn't there.
Yeah, I think he just tried to overcook it. You know, he was just really late. Smart move there. Good cover and good leave. Oh, misplayed
boy.
that. Should have spun around, played it with his backhand there, and moved himself out of that corner.
Yep.
Now it's set point now for Arraya. McNerney. McNerney constantly hitting an overhead. Then anytime it's got a chance of being driven, he gets right on top of that net. They're rarely, if ever, biting on this. That's going to get cut off. Yeah. Oh, good play. Not sure what happened there with Regalado on the paddle. Did he think it was game, or I don't know?
Yeah, I think so.
But
All
anyway,
right, back to deuce.
back to deuce. It's a great point. Big strikes. Arraya lobbing there. Here's the key, McNerney. Don't be too passive. Make sure you're ready to push in some feints, some movements, and move forward a bit. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Still a good move because it forces it over to the Arraya forehand, and it doesn't let them be passively just pushing it right back to him. Although that said, they should still keep pushing it there, and just whenever he moves in, change the overhead a little bit. Yeah, they still want to do that. But by him making these moves now, it's forcing them to consider him.
Yeah, yep. Just like anything else, you know, you want to vary your shots, your placement, the speeds, the spins, but varying where you stand and sort of the threat you give to the other team is just as important, and there he goes.
And that was a great move. Either way, he didn't get the net there, but oh, now he does, and he gets the winner, I think. That is tremendous. It's exactly what they need, and kudos, great job there from McNerney.
Yeah, for him to bail and then very quickly realize he was getting the chance to blitz again and to take the step back forward is just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it was sort of a surprise. He blitzed, then he blitzed right again. You know, most of the time that doesn't happen. And there it is. Second set to Arraya McNerney.
Great paddle.
It was tremendous.
Yep.
And we'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the ATTA YouTube channel presented by CPTC.
Hello, this is John Weinlater with Volley, and we're here at the Philly Open having a great time. So exciting to be out here at the second Grand Prix event and seeing all the momentum that's being gathered this season. It's been great being a partner with the APTA, and we've been excited with all the momentum with Volley as well. And we're about ready to hit our 500,000th ball right now on all the trainers. So it's pretty exciting that people are finding the product and talking about it. To keep track of all the new stuff going on with volley, follow us on social or visit our website, getvolley.com. Thank you.
All right, and welcome back to the APTA Tour. We are live from the Orchard Lake Country Club, bringing you the 2024 Detroit Invitational Grand Prix, where we are going 3 sets between our number 3 seeds of Arraya and McNerney against Regalado and Salazar. And I tell you, a lot of really good, tough metal there from our number 3 seeds, showing the willingness to change their strategy, the willingness to go out there and change up what isn't working and take a match where they're down 6-1, 2-love, and turn it right around. They get 6 out of the next 7 games, turn it 6-3. I mean, Steve, a heck of a match.
Well, it's like any other 3-setter, sometimes the tale of 2 different matches, the first set versus the second set. The first set, absolute masterclass by Regalado and Salazar, incredibly patient, incredibly tactical, not giving any unforced errors, not giving any opportunities really for Arraya and McNerney to sort of attack and generate any offense. And then 6-1, 2-love, everything changed. And I think, Brad, you sort of articulated, you know, what the gap was, and it was sort of the willingness for Arraya and McNerney to play slow paddle, to play, you know, methodical, shot by shot, patient, you know, take what you get, don't go for too much. And once they did that, the momentum changed, but I think also the mentality a little bit slowed, you know, against to, you know, what Regalado and Salazar were trying to do. So they pressed, they started making some errors. Certainly the last few games of the set, I think they probably gave 2, 3, 4, you know, untypical, unforced errors. And I don't know how to call the third. I think it's going to be a battle. Both teams, certainly Arraya and McNerney, are invested emotionally, physically. So I'm looking forward to an absolute grind. We're 2 hours in, and I think we might have another hour to go.
I think you're absolutely right, Steve. And, you know, in terms of calling the third set, you know, we always talk about paddle as a game of momentum. And clearly Arraya and McNerney, not only did they show the willingness to play, to break it, you know, to bring it back down, but it was almost, there were times, though, when McNerney was too patient. He was just standing there and just pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back. Now they found that sweet spot where they're willing to be patient and take what's coming to them versus forcing it, but they're still making moves. Like McNerney's looking for the right time to make a move to move in. When he does that, it's going to force them to speed up their overheads. It's going to force them to push the ball over to Arraya. When he was too passive, they would just dump and dump again. And then now they're finding some offensive opportunities, and they're coupling that with, quite frankly, just a few errors from Regalado and Salazar. But some of those are also forced by just their willingness to make them play more now. You know, Salazar and Regalado didn't have to do as much now. Now they do. They're going to have to start winning some points.
Yeah, the slow sort of, you know, take the air out, push volleys that, you know, were being hit to McNerney. I think our frustration was, you know, take a step forward, generate some offense. What Graham did, ooh, what a cutter by Juan. What Graham did in that second set was use his presence, you know, his blitz, his sort of, you know, forward movement to absolutely just change the, you know, the positioning of the point of the court. And Salazar and Regalado, they start to press on passes and.
Wow, these 3 fast points here, and it looks like a complete energy drop from Regalado and Salazar. These are just fast points, and they're just, you know, a couple of good moves there, but it's more like, put all this energy in. We just lost 6 out of 7 games. You know, they're going to have to get it back. I mean, these guys have shown nothing but poise. I have no doubt they will. They'll get their energy back, but great run there from McNerney and Arraya.
And the reality is these are incredibly thin margins, and for the most part, McNerney and Arraya raised their level. Salazar and Regalado are still playing very high level paddle. They're still playing very well. It's as much as, you know, what Arraya and McNerney did than what they didn't do in that set. But, you know, you said it at one point, a little hangdog, you know, the dropping of the shoulders, dropping of the head. I tell you what, it's really important to sort of start this set off, you know, at least with a competitive first couple
Oh,
games.
what a dig from Arraya on the cover.
What a dig.
Still like the move that McNerney threw in just because he's got to throw some in. Might not have been in the right time, but exactly the right idea. All right, they're going right back to dumping to McNerney, but look at Murray. He's going to start pushing his presence forward a little bit. Oh, this is it. Nice, McNerney, good roller.
Great roller, great dig by Alvey.
It was, but there you're seeing actually like Salazar probing with like, I wouldn't say those were even good drops. They were just baiting drops. Like, I'm going to hit it short and I'm going to see what you do. And they worked against him, you know, because now they've lost the net and they've been much more successful recent times at the net here. And then Arraya's, instead of forcing the plays, he's waiting. He's a cut finishes, a bunch of them. But before it felt like he was, I must hit a cut winner. And then the seventh ball, if I don't get it, I'm hitting a better one. You know, now he's just waiting until it comes. He's pushing it at the crease, getting it, waiting for the weak ball. And then he gets the cutter, he'll take it. Great hands. That's a good stick there from Regalado. Beautiful backhand there, and a great call from Salazar to tell Regalado to leave that one.
Yeah, great point. I mean, Juan was a step or two behind where he should have been, but Juan likes to sort of settle back into that position and sort of direct his volleys, open up the court, and Salazar just waited for the right ball. All right, huge point from love 40 to 30-40.
Oh, beautiful ball right in the crease. Oh, he thought that was going to hit the top of the net. That thing was so close. He was playing it almost for the let cord, and he couldn't come up with a volley. Oh, little late to the party. 6'4", he's got the reach, but it's just too far. Great redirected volley, yeah. He got a late start, too. It was not the best blitz ball. Oh, masterful volley. Just opens his face to the open court, blocks it in there. And I'm not sure why Regalado was still not back to the due side there.
Well, he yelled out, "Arriba, arriba." He told him to throw it up. And I think Jose thought he saw something that didn't exist. So Regalado called for the lob, and Salazar did the opposite. So
gotcha.
little miscommunication.
Oh, great game there.
Great game.
Yeah, they came back from the love 40 down, but they pull it out. Just little swings in that one. A terrific start. 7 out of 8 games now for McNerney and Arraya.
All right, no break for water, no check of the towel. Regalado and Salazar, little frustrated, but yeah, you can't expect a team with all the experience of Juan Arraya and Graham McNerney to sit down or lay down for a match, and they're going to have to figure it out. This is paddle.
No, it's been an amazing job for them. Their willingness to adjust their strategy and their willingness to, get into this match. I mean, this thing could have been over in, it's 6-1-2 love. If they didn't do it, it was over. Oh, he's struggling in there now a little bit.
Yep.
It's first signs of visible frustration. Paddle smack. Nice track. Oh, good dig there from McNerney. Drop shot. Too good.
Too good.
Well, the issue there is when that ball goes way across over there, they got to decide if they're switching all the way over, and McNerney's got to come right to the center, but he's not. And then that cross-court lob is just right there for him as he makes the get. Great shot by Salazar. Good track down. It's kind of this thing where you hit that cut winner and you get caught watching your opponent try to get it, and you're like, is he getting it? Instead of just moving into position while you're watching him. Wow, that's good.
Come on!
Oh, that's so well done there. Great blitz. Recognition there. If I'm Arraya, maybe lob volley that ball and give themselves time to get back because they were clearly in bad position there.
All right, they're trying to get their energy level back up and back to a double break point.
Right at the crease. What a ball there from Salazar.
All right, 1-1. They're back engaged. Look at them sort of emotionally talking through. You know, that's the first game in a while that they've won.
Oh, Arraya does that from time to time where he just hits it really hard and he kind of goes more in the frame. He gets that outside the frame of Regalado, though, so that's a great return. All right. Sneaking that ball around Arraya there.
Yeah, Alvy's forehand volley grip, it's not classic continental. Salazar's is. Salazar's got sort of very classic technique. Alvy's is a little bit more Eastern, and it gives him the ability to sort of push, oh, what hands? To push volleys in a weird way.
Oh, geez. That's a mistake there from Arraya, but good dig. Ah, those hands. You know, he's turning something that should be a loss into something good. That's one of his skill sets, just incredible volley action.
Tough one to miss. You can see the energy level of these points sort of rising. Both teams are pressing. Both teams are trying to generate offense, and it's causing a few errors. Well, there's Graham. I think it was the right move. That's you know, he's a little bit aggressive, but that's the shot he wanted. He had Salazar well off the net. Oh, great volley. Just caught Juan being a little bit aggressive with the poach and hit behind him. All right, from 1-0 down, Regalado and Salazar have certainly sort of rewrited the ship, but very competitive third set.
Yeah, and you know, it's just a little bit of swings here. It's like they're, like you said a little bit before, Steve, they're trying to capture whatever energy's out there around, and it's going in little pockets back and forth, you know, so, but great job. I mean, you know, clearly from the outset, looked like Regalado had a little hangover from losing that second set, but they're right back in there, Regalado and Salazar. They're pumped, and these guys, you invest this much time and energy in this thing. Now it's, you know, a question of mental energy and will, and just getting out there. And, you know, at 2 sets now, they already figured out what the strategies are, how to deal with it. Now it's a question of executing and staying in it moment for moment. You know, I think a lot of this match is going to come down to some sort of mental blip, or somebody having a bad service game, you know, faulting 2 or 3 times.
Looks like they have a new ball here.
He couldn't quite get around that one. A little late in the third set. Available to him. He's got to make that move up that wire. And I think they're going to keep going over there towards, you know, Regalado. They've been doing a good job, but yeah, I love that volley. Wow, he really stuck it at Arraya. Oh!
I'm not sure what Juan's
I don't know. Was there a ball that was out?
about.
Or, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what he was thinking, but I tell you what, it was a great point. They just mis-executed that last shot. They had him where they wanted him.
Wow, a couple of great volleys. Smart. I love it. Regalado with his length. I mean, you know, Arraya makes that move. He slips it by players, but Regalado's got that length. He's got to be 6'3", you know, tall guy, young, able to stick out his paddle and hit an offensive volley. Arraya makes that move all the time where he takes a little half volley and flips the ball back and is able to hold the net. Not there. That is just a great shot going right into the crease, and Salazar was confused. Do I let it go? And then at the last second, he popped his paddle out. Great shot.
Tell you what, we haven't seen a 50 or more shot rally in a while, and I think part of the reason is the level of play, the winners, the nicks have increased, but the energy of this match has completely changed from the first 10 games, and I don't think either team is going to wait 70 shots for their opportunity at this point.
Well, they're also playing differently. When those were happening, I think Arraya and McNerney were just trying to figure out, like, let's stay in a few points. And now they've moved beyond that to let's hit our lobs and let's get into position for some offenses, specifically McNerney a little bit now too. And when he's done that, it's also allowed sort of Arraya to become more involved in too. Remember those moments when those long points were happening? Arraya was basically just standing there, you know.
Yeah.
The only thing he stopped doing was making errors and forcing the points. But once McNerney started making a few moves, and we started playing a little differently. Now they're just finding their opportunities sooner. And, you know, it's not the same old strategy, let's just dump it now. These guys are having to move the ball around a little bit. They'll dump it, of course, because that is the safe place to go. But McNerney's now throwing in the occasional look as a blitz there, right, which is good, and that's what he needs to do. Otherwise, they don't have to take note of him at all. You know, they have to consider where he is. His ability to move forward is a major weapon. His volley is a major weapon. You know, if he puts it in the place where he can use it, blitz in every now and then, force him to speed up and overhead, points are going to be different.
Great technique with Arraya and McNerney really going down low for that block volley, the one they don't want to let hit the screen. They're just really using their legs. And
see, but that's a good move there from McNerney anyway, just because it's forcing him to go to Arraya, and if they overhit it a little or get it to his forehand, then Araya's got some action. And this is what they want. Oh, good play there, a little miscommunication. They're switching the play from the left to the right. Wow. So just a result here, Broderick and Kaler defeat Durant and Mitchell 6-2, 6-4. So kudos to them. Huge victory. Wow. Taking out our #1 seeds. Yeah, Durant and Mitchell, a lot going on this year. Building a whole new club out in Boston. Yeah. Life changes, but, you know, Broderick and Kaler, that's a tough out, man. That's a team with great volleys, willingness to play long points. So congratulations to Broderick Kaler. What a great victory there.
didn't see that coming, but I think you said it. Durant and Mitchell have been playing a selective schedule, and you know, 2 matches into a Grand Prix, you got to be ready to go. This may be just match toughness from those 2.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, Broderick always works the mental angle too. You know, he's willing to hit a lot of balls in, and he does play those kind of low overheads, you know, low lobs that force you to hit down up overheads. And, you know, he's defeated a lot of guys mentally as well as physically. You know, obviously we didn't get to see any of the points, so, and it wasn't a live stream match. So you can go to the source and find out, but kudos to them. They'll be in the semifinals tomorrow.
Broderick and Kaler will play the winner of this match in the first semi of the day, and I think that might be the match that's live streamed tomorrow morning.
Yep, getting a head nod here from Cal Noble. It should be now the moniker, the Great Cal Noble. But yeah, Sean is definitely nodding his head or laughing hysterically as to how that could even be. But thanks, guys. Thanks to our producers here for helping us put on a great event. And we are not done today. We have women's semifinals after this. So, and the women are like, could you guys hurry up? Because, you know, like, this is a long day for us as well. Because they're going on after this match right away.
And the other court that's being streamed, Burris and Nunez against Fraser Morgan. I think there was a tiebreaker for Boris and Nunez of a win in the first set, but I've lost track of that match.
Yeah, it's 7-6-5-3, Steve. Burris and Nunez are closing in on a win here against our #2 seeds of Fraser and Morgan. So great job. Like I said before, great to see Burris back at full health and back out there doing some damage. He was, you know, struggling with some, he had like a ganglion cyst. He rolled his ankle, and then, you know, so he's back in. I think he was kind of working through that a little bit. So good job by them.
I think I just heard 7-6-6-3 through the microphones.
You
that
did.
match might have just ended.
You got it right. Yep. So Burris and Nunez on to the semifinals as well.
seems like every time we make a comment on something, the opposite happens. So out of the blue, 100 shot rally.
Yep.
This is,
Yeah, but I don't love this. I'd love it to see a couple of moves here and now. It's getting a little too passive in my mind. But the great thing about this that's happened and that didn't happen in the first set was Arraya he's willing. You know, he's not forcing, and he's going to wait for it to come. But if McNerney doesn't make a move, the only positive in this thing is it's almost like they're baiting Regalado and Salazar too, because anytime they speed it up, it tends to work for Arraya and McNerney's advantage. But they're not going to do it unless these guys make the move. You know, so we're just going to sit here and do this for a long while until something changes there. And every now and then, I guess you have to play a point like this, which just becomes a mental battle. But I'm not sure why McNerney's not making a move there. Because they're not switching back.
Salazar and Regalado are getting a little bit out of position. You know, Alvey with that forehand in the middle should somewhat be dominating the point. However, they're choosing to play McNerney most shots. So that sort of throws away the typical righty, you know, cut overhead to the ad side. But there's definitely some pick'ems in the middle that should be Regalado's balls that Salazar is kind of moving back over his backhand side.
Oh my goodness, and that's the shot they take. Honestly, that's the first ball he even slung to the side. Other than that, they hit 100 balls in a row right down the middle with nothing there. I mean, just caught him off, and it's the game point now for Regalado and Salazar, and that was big. And I think all the teams recognize that 30-all point, you know, you don't want to make the winner, but you don't make the loser, but they stop making their moves, and that's not the best play for them when they stop making their moves. Oh, just Arraya frustrated by that whole sequence of events. That was
they got out of sorts, but at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, they were just a little bit on their heels, a little bit of miscommunication. Maybe it wasn't the perfect shot, but Regalado and Salazar have absolutely sort of fallen back into their comfort zone.
Yeah,
and
but that's
you said it. You didn't love the energy of that point, and I think, yeah, neither did McNerney and Arraya.
Yeah, but they let it happen. See, McNerney and Arraya went back into that pattern where we're just standing here instead of let's make something happen. And when they just stand there, then, you know, Regalado and, you know, they just stand at the net, push it back, stand at the net, push it back. When they do the other, they actually have the opportunity to come take the net. And now I think Araya's cramping. That's not a great sign, but I've seen him come back from things like that. Maybe he's just going to go for broke. Oh, what a good shot. Great control. He's hurting. I think he's hurting mentally and physically. He's limping. But as we talked about, they found that sweet spot where they were still able to move and get some offense without playing passive. And they went away from it there at a crucial moment. 30-all, 2-1 in the second set, third set. Nice duck and overhead there. Now, I think McNerney should be taking these overheads. I'm not sure what Araya's got in the tank. It's hard to say. All right. 4-1. Good composure from Regalado and Salazar.
Volley is the official sponsor of the APTA for the 2023-2024 season. Backed by cutting-edge technology, including its unique vision software, Volley is the innovator of the first AI-enabled racket sports training experience that simulates point play. By enabling players and pros to record sessions on the court, Volley also delivers off-the-court player analysis and support, all from your phone. It only takes minutes to sign up. Ask your pro about a Volley lesson today, and for more information, visit getvolley.com.
I think he's talking about changing the ball. Arraya's doing some math.
He might be right. However, I think it was
7 games, 9 games, 5 games. So it is. He's right in terms of the math of it all. That's 14, games. So I'm not sure what the argument
however,
is.
they switched out of cycle. I think McNerney may have had, a new ball. It was a very long game, but I think their math was right, but they may got out of sequence.
Energy level has just dropped here. Might have been a crushing blow at that 2-all, 30-all in that game there where it was just, where that 30-all point wasn't the play. They played to get themselves back into this, and it seems like all the energy has gone out of the balloon right now. But I've seen him do this, and then one thing happens, and then he's like right back into it, like a moment. But right now it is love 40, about to go down 5-1. And he's barely getting up to the net. He is cramping. So he's just walking in, trying to do a half volley. Oh, Regalado turnaround drive off the screen. That's it.
All right, different look with McNerney sort of staying in the ad side.
All right. And there it is, 5-1 now for Regalado and Salazar. About to punch their ticket into the semifinals tomorrow against Broderick and Kaler. Arraya, a little inside out. Slippery drive there. He's so facile with his wrist. Moves it inside, moves it out. Allows him to hit the cuts. Time just an inside out forehand, but he could have flipped it cross court at the same time.
Yeah, it looks like Juan's playing on a leg and a half over there.
Oh, yeah, he's just drop volley winner, and he's just trying to force it, and we all know how that went in the first set. So, barring Salazar and Regalado having a breakdown, this is going to be a tough scenario, and he's making it fast because he probably doesn't just have anything left in the tank. All right. Triple match point now, double match point for Regalado and Salazar.
Oh, they're making him.
They're going to hit every ball to Arraya and make him work.
They're punishing
You're
him.
right. Here you go. This is what happens when you walk onto the course against. Let's make us play a third. Oh, I like it. He's actually being patient here. I love it. First couple he went for it. Now he's not going to give it to him necessarily, but that's tough. Good attacking volley. That's a great lob from McNerney. All right. One saved. 40-30. And that's out. He goes for the winner down the line, and he
just missed.
Leaves the door open.
I'm not sure if Arraya's happy or sad that this is still going on.
That's a perfect point, Steve. Yeah, he's like, let me help you end this. Let me help you end this.
He's cooked. He's cooked, unfortunately. I feel for him. He's the last long point, he was stretching to know the point.
And there you have it. Regalado and Salazar punch their ticket to the men's semifinals tomorrow. Steve, that's a heck of a match. Fun calling that with you. Any final thoughts?
Oh, I mean, a tale of three different matches. Love the rising team of Salazar and Regalado, but at the end of the day, that second set was one of the better sets we've seen this season. So enjoyed it, Brad. Look forward to the rest. We have some more women's semifinals coming up on the APTA YouTube TV network. So look forward to listening to you tomorrow on the men's side.
All right, terrific. So everybody, as Steve said, stay tuned for Burrish and Elliott, our number 2 seeds against Morgan and Sikora, the women's semifinal. And I'm Brad Easterbrook along with Steve Sullivan. stay tuned for that, and we'll have more tomorrow as well.
So what really interested me about the trainer was the endless opportunities with it. I've gone through a couple ball machines in my career before, and this really was a technologically advanced machine that I've never seen before. Digging into it a little more in depth, I really found the opportunities to use it in my advantage. All right, ladies, just 1 minute, we'll get started. Always trying to recreate these tennis ball machines into paddle ball machines to practice, and this was the first thing on the market that really came out. We have a robust membership here, very active in the paddle community, and I think the volley is going to kind of put us over top as a program. All right, ladies, welcome. All right, today we're going to go over our side back screens. So we've got the volley trainer out here with us today. We'll have two on this side hitting. So the cool part about the volley is during lessons when I'm able to use it is I really get a more in-depth connection with my clients. So when I have a lesson out on the court, I can set up the volley to feed a screen, and I don't have to be on the other side of the court kind of yelling to them what they need to change, what they need to do while I'm hitting. I'm really using my time with them right next to them to make those changes quicker so they can have more success in the long term. Bridget's on the net, Robin sliding over. We are going to be beat by this cross-court lob a lot. I'm Blake Anderson, Director of Rackets at Fairmont Country Club. Try the volley at your club and you won't regret it.